It is St. Patrick's Day, and I was trying to come up with ways to get into the festive spirit, and I found this Irish cream in Sissy's refrigerator. I don't really know what Irish cream is. I assume it's like maybe a more flavorful version of regular like half and half maybe. So I thought, why not throw this Irish cream in my coffee to get the day started off right here on St. Patrick's Day. So we're gonna give it a go. Ooh, that looks pretty, very pretty. This should be a very nice way to start the day. Cheers. Ooh. It's got a little bit of a sweetness to it, a little nice kick. Now, I'm normally just somebody who just drinks their coffee black, but I kind of like this. I could see myself putting Irish cream in my coffee every single day. And that bottle is huge, so we've got plenty of it. So maybe this will be my new daily tradition and not just a St. Patty's Day thing. Hey, what is up, everybody? It is Uncle Matt here. It is St. Patrick's Day. We've got some fun stuff planned for today, but before we get into that, I needed to take a minute to acknowledge something that happened since the last time I recorded a video. The channel has officially passed 1,000 subscribers, which is awesome. Never did I ever think that was something that was going to happen. I just was making these videos mostly to keep myself occupied and started during COVID, so it was a very boring time, and some of those early videos reflected of how little was going on and how bored I was because I was just making videos for any reason I could think of, which is kind of how it's become now, but that's beside the point. But I just want to start off by saying thank you to the subscribers. Thank you to those of you who've been with us from the early days that I mentioned were pretty much terrible, to the more modern times, this era where things have kind of picked up, and I think I've gotten a little bit better about the content I make. Still probably not the best, but it's there. I appreciate everybody who's subscribed that has got us to this point. I'm going to do a live stream tonight. It's Friday. That's what I've been doing the last few weeks, is doing Friday night live streams. So I'll talk a little bit more about hitting 1,000, about my thoughts on the channel moving forward, what we're going to keep doing there. So by the time this video comes out, that live stream will have already happened, but you can go back and watch it as a replay. So that'll be the first thing I kind of talk about that video. So if you're interested in hearing more about that, just kind of the ins and outs of what I've got going on, what I'm looking to do with the channel moving forward, go back and watch that. It'd probably be about the only first 5 or so minutes of that live stream. So feel free to go watch that. But thank you again. Let's get into the festivities. St. Patty's Day, always a fun day. We have some interesting traditions and tweaks that I've always done that Jesta has adopted with me. We'll get into that a little bit later. I do have to give my mother a shout out real quick because she sent us a few items that commemorate a couple of the holidays that we have here in March. It occurred to me just now, this week of March is now just full of holidays because you got Pie Day. So my mom got us a key lime pie for Pie Day. Right after that, you got the Ides of March. The next day, 3/16 Day, we celebrate Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then today, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. My mom also sent Sissy along this shamrock plant because Sissy had to have foot surgery recently. She's not been doing it, kind of, wasn't a great thing, but here, it's a plant to cheer her up. So shout out my mom. Also, shout out my buddy Lance. His birthday's this week too, so another holiday we got going on. So we're getting ready to head out for our St. Patrick's Day's festivities. Jessica likes to trap all the dogs in the kitchen with baby gates for some reason, but Oli I don't think likes that because I think Moo probably picks on him while we're gone or something like that because he seems just terrified of being locked in the kitchen with her. So we're getting set to put them all away, and he decides to go into his crate, but he may have walked into a worse situation because also inside the crate is Larry.
It's Larry's crate.
The scumbag. All right, so the plan for tonight is a little bit of a variation on what has become my St. Patrick's Day tradition dating back to my college days at the Middle Tennessee State University. Jesta has since adopted some of these traditions with me. Somewhere along the way in my college days, I decided, man, it's like crazy packed trying to get into like the Irish pubs on St. Patty's Day. And it's also crazy packed trying to get into Mexican restaurants on Cinco de Mayo. So I flipped them. I started going to an Irish pub on Cinco de Mayo and a Mexican restaurant on St. Patty's Day. But Jesta, drinker that she is, got a text alert from one of our favorite restaurants in the area, Bavarian Beer House, the German beer house that is in Opry Mills.
That is a terrible
That said they were going to have bottomless beers for St. Patty's Day weekend. So a little bit of a variation on what I normally do going to Mexican, but it's still not St. Patty's Day, so you would expect Beer House won't be as crowded as Lost Patty or McNamara's or any of the other Irish-themed bars and pubs in the area, which love those places, but also don't love dealing with insanely crowded places. So we will go to the Beer House because that is what we are meant to do. I learned how to speak this way because I have a German friend, and she taught me the dialect. So I'm borderline. I'm definitely an honorary New Yorker. I'm borderline honorary German. Like I don't quite have the accent down, but I'm like 2 steps away from like getting official status as an honorary German. But we shall go to the Beer House for St. Patty's Day to eat the foods, just have a drink the beers. I am not a drinker.
Do you think you should tell people like your secret plan for beating the crowds on these specific holidays? So now people might do it and then ruin everything.
Disregard everything that I have said. We have arrived at the Bavarian Beer House
You need to quit.
for the traditional German holiday of St. Patrick's Day. They have kraut, do they not? Isn't that the Irish thing as well?
You're not going to embarrass me in there, are you?
Auf Wiedersehen. So one of the things that complicates my Flip the Holiday specials is that this year St. Patty's Day is on a Friday. So kind of every restaurant is generally packed on a Friday. So somewhat complicates the system that I have in place. Jessica didn't factor that in when she made this plan.
That's why I made a reservation.
And yet here we sit waiting for a table.
We're 30 minutes early.
They know how to take the reservation, they don't know how to keep the reservation. That's Seinfeld. Alright, so I'm not a drinker, but for St. Patty's Day, they've got bottomless $25 Beer House lagers that they've greened up, although it looks more like a little bit more like boogery, like puke green than like traditional Irish green. But I'm gonna have to drink like 3 of these to get my money's worth. So here, you know, not a drinker, but we'll give it a shot. Jessica got a cherry Coke. No, this is their specialty. It's a Heffenweis with grenadine, also known as the most problematic, annoying drink you can order from a bartender. Cheers. No better way to start out a German meal on St. Patty's Day than with the pretzel. I thought we were getting the regular one, but this certainly looks like a giant pretzel.
What if this is the regular one?
It could be. How was it?
Yeah, it tastes like a pretzel.
I do love this place. I'm basically German at this point, I feel like. I feel like I'm half Nashville, half New York, half German. I think they might have run out of green food coloring. It's okay though, I'm not a drinker, so I definitely don't need the extra green in my beer that I would not normally drink anyway. Alright, Jess, tell everybody what you got here and explain how this is a good. Tell everybody what you got here and explain how this is a good menu hack.
Oh, so this is the chicken schnitzel sandwich, but I get it without a bun, and I get a side of the schnitzel gravy. So it's basically half of the price of the schnitzel, and it's not as big.
Now explain why you got this disgusting bowl of gross cucumbers.
Because they're delicious.
Barf.
Pickles, man.
Shut it. Alright, so I got this weird pork dish. I was going to get fish and chips because that was the most Irish thing on the menu, but apparently everybody else had the same idea because they were out of fish and chips somehow. So I got this pork dish that I cannot pronounce with German potato salad and some sauerkraut. So here we go. Little teas. Oh my god, that's like really delicious. Oh yeah. Oh, that's really good. All right, we're about to do our Friday night live stream, and I was like, hey, this would be a good opportunity to kind of give a kind of peek behind the curtain, show everybody kind of how I do these things, because they don't always work exactly right. So maybe somebody out there will see this and be like, hey, this is what you're doing wrong, you dumb idiot. Because first few ones I had, I was having like, everything was fine, and there were some sound issues, and I changed things up, and things were fine. And last week we had some sound issues, but here's my basic setup now, how I do this now. So I've got Ring camera. This is my phone. I do the live streams through my phone, through Restream. It's the most easy, user-friendly kind of like streaming service that I found that allows you to do live streams that kind of import it into YouTube. So I use that through my phone. That's kind of the camera I use because I found it has a better video quality than like my MacBook or any of the like kind of like cheap little webcams I've tested with, because I originally was doing live streams through my MacBook. And that was where I was getting a lot of people that were saying like, oh, the sound is terrible, like it's dropping out, the sound keeps dropping out. And so I did some test streams through the MacBook, like where I was live, but I was on private. And I think either my Mac, just maybe it's too old at this point in time, it's not able to keep up, or the USB ports might have issues, because I'm using this microphone here for live streams. It's a Finite Fifine. I don't know what the quality level of that is. It's just one that I had at one point in time looked at Amazon, and my wife saw it just as she saw it and was like, oh, he was looking at that, he might want it. So she bought it for me because she's a very kind, sweet woman. So I don't know if it's just like not a quality enough microphone for what I was doing, or if my Mac's just old and the USB ports aren't good anymore, but through the Mac is where I was getting a lot of sound issues. So that's when I switched to doing the live streams with my phone, is like not only the streaming device, but also the camera. I think the video quality is better on there, the sound quality has been better, everything's been better. And then like last week when I did the Friday night live stream, there was like this popping noise. I went back and watched it, and I don't know where it came from. I Googled it, and there was like 100 different reasons that you could have a popping noise on your live stream. So I just did like a test live stream just to see if it was still happening. Maybe it was just like I didn't have the cord in right or something like that last week. The test stream I just did sounded good, so hopefully this week's live stream sounds fine, because I haven't been able to exactly determine what was causing the popping last week, because I'm hooked up and wired in and set up the same way I was last week, and at least in the test stream there was no sound issues, but who knows, we'll see what happens. This is always a crapshoot, but I wanted to kind of record this because like when I did the live stream last week, when I've done the live streams in the past where there's been sound issues, people have kind of like jumped in the chat and been like, hey, this might be the problem, this might be the problem, hey, maybe try this, maybe try this. And so I thought, like, if I actually show people what my setup is, I'm running everything through my iPhone 12 Pro with basically just this kind of basic mic plugged into it through like a USB adapter that goes into the Thunder port. If there's something I'm doing wrong or something I could be doing better, this is a good opportunity for people to tell me, hey, dummy, this is the worst way to live stream possible. You're so stupid. Teach me how to do it. Teach me how to do it. Teach me how to do it. But we're about to go live for our usual Friday night chat, so if you didn't see it, the replay should be up on the channel, so you can go back and watch it. Like I said, we're going to talk more about getting to 1,000 subscribers and what that means for the channel, so by all means, go back and watch that. This has been your peek behind the curtain. Do you want to shout out? Dinner was delicious tonight. I love Bavarian Beer House. We don't go there enough. It's one of those places like that's kind of like you love it, but you kind of forget it. It's kind of out of sight, out of mind, and then every once in a while it pops in your head. You're like, oh man, I really like that place. We should go back there. But now that I am partially German, I should probably go back there too more. That was the worst version of the German accent I've done yet. We're going to stop at that, okay? You're getting a little behind the scenes peek here. We are going live right now on YouTube. Got the 1 minute countdown going, so the mic is technically muted, so none of this is coming across right now. But figured I already gave you a little preview behind the scenes. We'll do a little bit more, so you get to see this is how the magic happens. And when I say this is how the magic happens, I mean this is how I fail spectacularly and everything just falls apart. So we'll see how this goes, though. Could be good, probably not, but we'll see. Hey, what is up, everybody? It is Uncle Mad with our usual, now traditional, now well set Friday night live stream. And it's a big one. We are celebrating 1,000 subscribers on the channel. Never thought we would get to this point. Never thought we would get here. Always just thought there was going to be some dumb thing I just did to keep myself occupied that maybe 4 or 5 of my friends and a couple family members might watch. And to start off, to celebration, I'm not a drinker, but I know people that do drink use alcohol to celebrate. Conor McGregor himself, as a tribute to my 1,000 subscribers, sent me this bottle of Proper 12 whiskey and said, "You earned it, mate. Go for it. Have a drink." That probably sounded more Australian than Irish, but it is what it is. He said, take a shot to celebrate, so let's do it. Let's have a shot real quick to celebrate hitting 1,000 subscribers on the channel. Thank you to Connor. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed to the channel. Here's to ya. Just finished up the Friday night live stream. Thank you to those of you that watched. To those of you that didn't, subscribe to the channel and turn the bell on for notifications so you don't miss future live streams. So we were all over the place. It was kind of rambly. I don't know if it was good or not, but it was fun. It was always great to jump into those, interact with people in chat as we go. But a fun St. Patty's Day. Super grateful to have 1,000 subscribers on the channel. We're only just getting started. More to come. Nashville SC's got a match tomorrow. Holy, just did a big yawn over here. I don't think that got caught by the channel, but thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I don't know what to say. It's been fun. More to come, as always. Happy St. Patty's Day to you and yours. I halfway was stuck between doing a German accent and I don't know. Let me try. Irish and German mix. Let me try. Thank you for watching. This has been a good one. Hope you enjoyed it. Danke. I'm out of control. Good night. Thanks for watching. Hey.